On the Thousand Suns refinery world of Khalasar Prime, Ahriman has arrived with a secret agenda. But first, he needs to purge a small splinter fleet of Tyranids. Unbeknownst to him, it is not as small as it seems. For underneath the surface, uncountable hordes are currently burrowing their way towards their main refinery.
We play and call it work. MiniWarGaming's Warhammer 40k Battle Report.
Taking a look at 1500 points of Thousand Suns, I'm going to be taking the Cult of Time. Ahriman has decided to enlist this cult as he needs a little bit of time manipulation. So with the Cult of Time, they have some really cool nuances. One of them is everyone knows the psychic power Time Flux. This psychic power allows me to bring back models in a unit at full wounds. I'm really hoping to take advantage of this power. My warlord for today is going to be a demon prince with dual malefic talons and wings. His warlord trait is going to be the immaterial echo. What this allows me to do is very, very simple. If I cast a psychic power on a 9+, he can cast one additional power. His relic is going to be the Hourglass of Manat. If he dies, he is allowed to come back with D3 extra runes. Nice and simple. For my other additional HQ choice, it is going to be Ahriman. Moving on to troops, we have nothing but Rubric Marines. I absolutely love them and I never leave home without them. We have a nice big squad here of 20 Rubric Marines with 2 Soul Reapers. We have another 2 10-man squads with also 1 Soul Reaper in each. Rounding out my elite choices, we have 10 Scarab Occult Terminators. These are going to be Ahriman's bodyguard. We have 2 Hellfire Missile Racks and 1 Soul Reaper cannon in that squad.
For my Tyranid army, I decided I wanted to go with a theme of underground. Now, match play does limit the amount of units that you're allowed to put into reserve, so I maximized the points and the number of units. And for this, it was a hard choice. I wanted to try out the Jormungandr High Fleet from the main book, but its advantage just wasn't enough for me to want to give up a couple of the High Fleet adaptations from Blood of Baal. So I decided to go with 2 of them from the Blood of Baal, one of which is Biometallic Sis, where Scything Talons get an extra AP, and you're going to see a lot of Scything Talons in this list. And the second one is Metamorphic Regrowth, where at the start of each of my turns, every unit heals 1 wound. And you're going to see a lot of multi-wound units from this army. Starting with the above ground stuff, my warlord is going to be a Tyranid Prime, and he is going to not have a warlord trait in order for me to give some adaptive physiologies to some other units. And my second HQ choice for this battalion is a Neurothrope. The meat of my synapse is going to be 3 units of warriors. I wanted this to be a unit of 3 and a unit of 9, but because of the restriction of you need to have half your units on the table, I had to split up the unit of 9 into a unit of 6 and 3 in order to have the correct number according to the match play. If this was narrative, that'd be a big fat unit of 9 and a small unit of 3. But it is what it is. They've all got Scything Talons, which have the extra AP, and a lot of Death Spitters and a couple Venom Cannons sprinkled throughout. A very heavy-hitting elite choice here, we have a unit of 6 Zonethropes, so they can get the extra mortal wounds when they smite. And then flying around will be 2 units of 10 Gargoyles. These ones could actually be put in reserve, but they're not going to because of the limitations. Now going into what is currently creeping underground, we have 2 Trigons here. First off, we have a Trigon Prime and a regular Trigon. And I have 2 adaptive physiologies, so I paid the command point to do the progeny of the High Fleet to allow me to bring a second one. The Trigon Prime is going to have the one that gives him a 5-up invuln, and he counts as having twice as many wounds remaining. And the Trigon is going to be able to be counted as a Synapse creature, just to basically make them almost identical to a Prime, just minus some of the shooting. Now, Trigons and Trigon Primes have the ability to bring a unit of troops along with them, so I will be doing that with the Trigon Prime specifically. And it will be bringing along a unit of 20 Hormigons, also a troop choice, also with Scything Talons, which means they're all at AP -1. Burrowing along with them will be a big unit of 6 Raveners with double Scything Talons. Normally I like to put Rending Claws on this to give them some AP. Don't need to with Biometallic Sis. And their thorax will be full of Death Spitters to give me some extra shooting power. And lastly, scouting out for the Burrowers and for the High Fleet are 4 independent lictors who are all getting ready to jump in from a chameleon ambush. We're going to be playing Lockdown from Chapter Approved 2019. This one has 6 objectives scattered throughout the table that we go back and forth placing. And after we deploy, we actually take turns choosing which numbers they are going to be. First off, we choose which ones are number 1 and 6, and then we roll the other 4 to see which ones are numbers 2, 3, 4, and 5. At the beginning of each battle round, except the first, and 6+, you remove the objective marker that matches the battle round. But number 1 and number 6 never remove. So battle round 2, number 2 disappears. Battle round number 3, 3 disappears. So on and so forth. Every objective is worth 1 victory point if you control at the end of your turn. In addition, you get a bonus victory point for controlling more objectives than your opponent at the end of the battle round. We rolled for attacker and defender. Vito is the attacker. I rolled and got frontline assault for the deployment and chose the side of the board that does not have a lot of the rocks. Now we will deploy, and then we will decide what numbers the objectives are.
As the attacker, I'm not entirely sure where Matthew is going to deploy, as he has a lot of deep strike shenanigans. This is making me very, very nervous, as they are going to burrow out from beneath and try to attack me. So I think for my game plan, I'm going to be as aggressive as possible, going right on top of the line and give them the old soul reaper. My objective right now is for my big 20-man blob of Rubric Marines to go right in the middle of that spear tip, being accompanied by my Demon Prince and Armand, so they can just go pew, 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 with all the magic shenanigans that I have. On my far left flank, I decided to go ahead and put 10 Rubric Marines just to hold the objective. And last but certainly not least, my big blob of 10 Scarab Occult Terminators. These guys are going to come on down and protect Aruman.
On the counter deployment, I have the advantage of deploying second. And as you can see here, I deployed not as far back as I could, but pretty darn far back because I know he's got a lot of firepower from those Rubric Marines. On each flank is a squad of 10 gargoyles getting ready to fly up to grab an objective. And then pretty much exactly 29.5 inches away, I have all my warriors and zone throats because the Rubric Marines move 5 inches and have a 24-inch range, so I'm going to be just outside of that. I know he has warp time that allows him to move again, but at least he has to expend those resources to get to me. And lastly, in reserve, I've got my Trigon Prime, Trigon, with the Hormagaunts burrowing with them. And then I also have my Raveners and Lictors. Vito, you finish, or you're the attacker, so you get to choose who goes first. Easy choice, right?
Oh, yeah, right. I think, so I'm weighing out all my options, and I think, Matthew, I'm going to have you go first.
Oh.
Yeah, because I want my Terminators to come down and do as much damage as possible on my turn two.
So you want my guys already having deep striked in?
Yeah, I want you to come down, and I want me to have more options.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if this is the best choice.
I don't know either, man.
But this is what I'm doing.
So beginning of the first battle round, before the first turn, we actually determine the numbers of all these. Just a reminder, the person who goes first will choose one to be number 1. So I'll choose one to be number 1, Vito will choose one to be number 6. Those never move. And then we'll go back and forth randomizing the rest of them, and we'll show you the results after we roll. In the end, that's objective number 1, so it's never going to leave. And then objective number 6 that Vito chose is right there in the middle. All the other ones are the other numbers. We have 2, 3 is back there, 4, and 5. So these ones are going to last the longest, and 2 and 3 are going to disappear the earliest, which I'm disappointed by, because I've got all sorts of things coming in from reserve, and so I'm the one that actually placed the objectives as far to the corners as possible so I could get onto them with my reserves. So the fact that they're going to stay longest in the middle is going to make it a little harder for me. I think. I don't know.
I don't know.
Whatever.
Yeah, right?
Whatever.
Roll some dice.
In the end, I get to go first, grab some table control, and then get shot 1,000,000 times. Like, a lot of times. A lot of times. In my movement phase, we're going to start, this flank is all going to essentially advance forward to grab the objective. As I advanced forward, I chickened out and realized this objective is disappearing, so I only advance the Zoanthropes and the Neurothrope onto it. And because it's disappearing, the Gargoyles and the Warriors are actually going to shift towards my center. My big blob of Warriors will advance 5 inches forward. 12 is, I get a +1 for Adrenal Glands, which is nice because I'll actually get some of my Death Spitters in shooting range. That is my objective. Prime will try to keep up with them with a 5-inch advance. That'll be plenty for him to give his buff. Warriors right here will advance into cover, just 1 inch, but they have Adrenal Glands as well, so it's actually 8 inches total. Plenty. And the gargoyles in this flank will do the job that they were allotted, which is get just within 3 inches of that objective and hold it. Into the psychic phase, I position my zoanthrope, so depending on which one I chose, I could choose a different unit of Rubric Marines. In this case, I'm going to choose this zoanthrope because the closest, and they have a 24-inch smite because they're zoanthropes, will be your Rubric Marines in the back. The reason for that is because your resurrection psychic power is only 6-inch range, so it'll force one of your psychers back there, or you just have to kind of leave them where they are. Smite needs a 5, but I get to reroll 1s. Ooh, we got a 9.
Ah, may as well try to stop it with the Rubric Marines. Oh.
Not.
Oh, don't. That's going to be really rough.
If you want to spend a command point, try to reroll that into a 5.
I'm going to try it.
Oh boy!
Yeah.
Oh boy!
Fortune favors the bold or the stupid, so fortune's on my favor. Oh! And I got to get invested.
Neurothrope will then attempt to manifest Catalyst. And he gets it. I'll reroll the 1 because he can do that. And we get an 8. They will put it onto this unit of warriors. It allows them to ignore wounds on a 5+.
Unfortunately, I am out of range to stop that, so boop, catalyst goes off.
Everything else is out of range, so shooting phase, we will have this unit of Tyranid warriors. The venom cannons will fire all the way over there. And then the death spitters, only 3 of them are in range to fire at your big bulky squad in the middle. D3 shots from the venom cannons each, so we've got 4 shots. They advance, so it's -1 to hit, but then +1 to hit with the prime nearby. So hitting on 4s. Oh, 3 hits. 2s to wound! Yeah, baby.
5 up saves.
Ooh,
3
die.
can't go down. That is a little rough.
Death spitters also hitting on 4s. Wounding on 3s.
3 up save because of all its dust. Oh, 1 does go down. Not too good. No shooting left, so all we have to go ahead and do is a morale check on a 6 up. Nope, they are A-OK.
In the end, for my turn, I've grabbed 3 objectives worth 1 point each, but I did not get first strike because I did not kill an entire unit. So the score is 3-0 for Tyranids as we go into Thousand Suns, turn 1.
Open up movement phase. We're going to have the Rubric squad here of 10 just move their 5 inches to go and grab this objective within 3. I do need to advance them. That's unfortunate. 1.
I think that gets them
That is enough. Boop.
They've got that, barely, but you don't get to shoot.
Squad over here is going to move 5. I do want to keep the Soul Reaper cannon stationary. And then the rest of the squad is going to move.
They ignore the heavy when they move?
Oh yeah, they do. What am I talking about?
Yay!
Boop. Demon Prince is going to fly on over right to here to kind of give some re-rolls, but also for some regrowing. Ahriman is going to lead the force from the front and get a little bit dangerous right to there. Ahriman is going to cast Prescience, and he's going to be putting on the big squad of 20. Ahriman does get +1 to cast, but I'm also getting -1 for his Shadows on the Warp.
Shadow on the Warp. So give me a 7. That's a 9. I'm not close enough to deny.
And Prescience gives the big squad here +1 to hit, so they're going to be hitting on 2s. Ahriman is going to go for Doombolt, and we're going to be putting it onto these warriors. Looking for a straight 9. Ooh, getting a 7. That's unfortunate. His last power is going to go for Smite, targeting the big warrior squad over here. Looking for that sweet 5.
Oh, 4. Shadows in the Warp, baby.
This squad over here, they're going to cast Time Flux on themselves. Looking for a 5, but we do have -1 to the die. Ooh.
So 7.
I live again!
That's why I made a tactical error even firing at them. For some reason, I thought it was your HQ that knew that power. I forgot that your entire army knew that power. I would have totally focused everything on the center squad. That would have been the better tactical choice.
My Demon Prince is going to go ahead and cast Smite into the Zoanthropes.
He's not in Shadows of the Warp. Needs a 6, though.
Oh, that's
Garbage.
good. The big squad of Rubric Marines, seeing as this big squad of 10 over here is out in the open, I'm going to put the Weaver of Fates on them. Looking for a 6.
-1. Oh, 4. Ouch. Zinch is not happy.
I have only one last thing to do, and they're just going to go ahead and cast a Smite into the Warriors.
So -1. So you've got exactly 5. I'm not in range to deny, but I do have Catalyst, so I ignore wounds and mortal wounds on a 5+. Gotta take the wound. Ouch. Down to 2 wounds.
Going into the shooting phase, we're going to start with this gigantic squad of rubrics. They're going to fire into the warriors. I'm going to spend 1 command point for Infernal Fusillade. It allows them to shoot twice. I'm also going to spend another command point for Veterans of the Long War that allow them to get +1 to wound. Starting with the 2 Soul Reaper cannons hitting on 2s.
Reroll the 1.
Thank you,
Those are the
Ahriman.
Demon Prince.
Or, yeah.
Oh, Ahriman does it too?
Yeah.
Ah, nice.
Looking for 2s to wound. Because of veterans, they all wound.
AP -3. Well, I got a 5 up ignoring wounds. Yeah, 6 wounds so far. Yeah, I don't think you're going to survive this. But hey, you never know.
On 2s.
Oh, look at all those rerolls.
Oh, yeah. And the reroll. 3s to wound because of veterans.
I think they're going to die. -2 AP, so let's see some vests. 6 up saves. I made 3. 5s to ignore. Does Catalyst actually do anything? I don't think that's going to keep me alive. Oh, I think that's going to barely keep me alive. It keeps 1 guy alive with 1 wound, so we'll retain a warrior with a Venom Cannon.
And then for speed, I'm going to do 4 rubrics, because they can fire again, into this 1 guy, and then everybody else into these warriors.
But not the Soul Reaper cannons, because only rapid fire weapons get to fire a second time.
8 shots on 2s. No rerolls. Oh, I do. Never
Look
mind.
at that, look at that.
Ahriman. Yeah. 3s to wound.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to survive that. 6 up. Save. Okay, I've got to roll 5 5+ to stay alive. You ready for this, Vito?
Go for it, Matthew.
You ready?
Yeah.
You ready? Booyah! I got 1. What a surprise that he died from that. That's first strike. That's a point.
And then the rest of the squad on 2s. Rerolling 1s. And 3s. Whoop. Drop die.
Yeah, they're probably dead. I've got cover, so I go back to a 5 up save, but no other ignoring. Yeah, that's 1, 2, 3. At least 3 dead. Tress dead.
The last bit of shooting that I have is going to be these rubrics. I only have 3 plus the Soul Reaper into the zone thropes. Starting with the Soul Reaper, hitting on 3s. They all hit. 3s to wound.
Dude!
Oh, sorry,
3s
Matt.
into 3s should not be 4. 3 up invuls, though. Watch this. Hey, I only failed 1, so that makes up for it.
And 3 shots hitting on 3s.
bolters.
Rerolling the 1s because the Demon Prince was within 6. Okay. 4s to wound.
That's right. 3 up invulnerable save. Yeah, baby. After all that, only 1 of them takes 1 wound. End of your turn, you've grabbed 3 objectives of your own, getting 3 victory points, plus first strike for killing something in the first battle round, bringing the score to 4-3 for Thousand Suns as we go into Tyranids, turn 2. Beginning of battle round 2, objective number 2 disappears. Objective number 2 disappears.
Wait, how did you do that?
This is going to be the turn that'll probably determine the rest of the game and how it's going to go. Essentially, I've got to shift over. I need to deny areas for your deep striking Terminators, and everything's going to erupt from the ground and try to charge in. The Neurothrope and Zonethropes want to move forward, advancing the Neurothrope 5, and advancing the Zonethropes 4. And whoop, actually, I gotta be careful here. I want to give them, I don't think I'm gonna have very many options for them. I want to leave room for something to deep strike right here. I just threw an advance, so I'd have some choices. But before I forget, beginning of my turn, I get metabolic regrowth. Everything heals 1 wound, so I'll take that wound off as well. Before I move the gargoyles, we're going to have my prime move forward as well as these warriors, screeching as they hop over their cover. And now these gargoyles are going to advance to take objective number 5, getting a 2, which will be plenty. Now their job is not just to grab objective 2, but it's also to spread out so as to limit where you can deep strike your Terminators.
Boom, just like that.
And these gargoyles will advance as well, hoping for something healthy. 2's okay. We're going to essentially move forward and once again zone out this entire side of the board while still holding objective number 1. And little did Vito know, this Lictor was camouflaged right here all along. And there is a Lictor over here as well. He was camouflaged with the ground, I guess. And then popping out of the ground is a Trigon Prime, and Hormagaunts will be swarming around him as well. Hormagaunts swarm out of the hole behind the Trigon Prime. And then the Trigon is going to pop out of the ground right here. And then Raveners are going to pop out of the ground up front here.
Matthew, stop.
There's more.
Stop.
And then another lictor comes out of camouflage over here.
But wait, there's more.
Boom! Turns out there was a lictor camouflaged as a lictor. They just like separate.
You're awful, Matthew.
Into the psychic phase, Zoanthrope over here, out of the range of Ahriman, is going to smite into your Rubric Marines. He needs a 5, rerolling 1s. We get, oh, it's a D6 plus 3.
The Rubric Marines, they're going to try to deny any double sixes.
Oh,
No, not at all.
No. So it's going to be D6 mortal wounds plus 3. So D6 plus 3 of these Rubric Marines are about to disappear. Oh, it's 9! I've never seen them do that before.
Well, that's unfortunate. That's
all of them.
That's the whole squad.
Wow.
Okay. Yes, Zinch's plan is working.
We have nobody to charge. Moving over to Zoanthrope here, we're going to do Psychic Scream against the Rubric Marines. And reroll the 1, and we get it with a 9.
I'm going to use Ahriman to try to stop this because he does get +1 and he can deny 3. Looking for a 9.
Oh, he did it, because that's a 10.
Nice.
Smite from the Neurothrope. Needs a 6 now. Reroll 1s. 9.
Matthew, stop. All right, Ahriman, do not fail me now.
Nope, you failed.
I'm going to spend a command point. I need all the guys that I can get.
Need to roll a 3+.
Get!
D3 mortal wounds only. Just one.
Just one, okay.
Yeah,
I
see?
can live
I
with
only
one.
killed one. And he'll attempt to manifest Catalyst. And reroll that 1, and he gets a 10.
I may as well stop with Ahriman. He gets one more attempt.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
not cocked. You got it. That's all I got for Psychic. Just that's it. So shooting, we're going to start with the Raveners firing all of their Death Spitter from their thoraxes into the Rubric Marines. 4s to hit. 3s to wound. Nice.
3 up save, all is dust.
Oh!
You know what, Matthew? You should start using my dice from now on.
Nope.
Losing 4 more.
Tyranid Prime is going to fire at the same squad. He's hitting on 3s. Yeah, baby. 3s to wound.
3 up. Nice.
Death Spitters from the Tyranid Warriors into this squad of Rubric Marines. Hitting on 3s because the Prime is nearby. 3s to wound.
3 up saves. Oh, 1 will die. I'm in this dilemma now where I want to start taking the guys from the front, but I don't want to lose the Soul Reaper or the
your
Sorcerer.
right?
Oh, it's the worst.
I feel we should be explaining one thing that we haven't been. We've mentioned All Is Dust. The Rubric Marines have All Is Dust, which is any weapon that does 1 damage, they get +1 save against. All of these weapons that I'm firing now are all Strength 5 -1 AP. So his 3 up goes down to a 2, or goes up to a 2, and then back down to a 3. So I'm just going to explain that one time, and pretty much you're going to be seeing 3 up saves from my shooting. I'm going to fire with my Trigon Prime into your Rubric Marines with his Bioelectric Pulse. 4s to hit. 3s to wound. These don't have any AP.
2 up saves because of all his dust. They're good.
And last, the Trigon into the same Rubric Marine squad. 4s. Yeah. 3s. Oh, all right.
2s.
Ooh, one more.
Awful.
In the charge phase, this Lictor at the back, I'm going to spend a command point for Surprise Ambush, which allows him to charge and no Overwatch can be fired, and he gets +1 to his charge rolls. So I'll need an 8, and Lictors can re-roll this when they first show up.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Yes! The Trigon Prime is going to declare a charge into this unit of Rubric Marines as well, and I'm just deciding, yeah, I'll declare the charge into Ahriman as well, just so I can get over there.
All right, let's do some Overwatch. Soul Reaper cannons first on 6s, re-rolling the 1s. Just 1. 5's wound. Oh, we got 1.
5 up invulnerable save from the upgrade I gave him. Takes it.
22 shots from everyone else on 6s.
Oh, goodness.
And just that 1 piddly reroll. That's fine. 5's to wound. Oops.
Oh, just 1.
Just 1.
5 up. Oh, I take that too. Down to 10. So I gave him the Arachnocyte Gland. I failed to mention that in the army overview. When he charges, he rolls 3 dice and takes the best 2. Needs 9. We got it.
I did forget to do Armon, his Infernal Bolt Pistol, 12 inches. Ah, he missed. Reroll 1s. Nothing.
Well, I am going to go straight on in there. Hey, guys, let go. Boom. Next, a Trigon will declare a charge against these Rubric Marines.
Overwatch with the Soul Reaper on 6s. Rerolling the 1s. Armon getting 1. 5 to wound. Nothing. And 9 shots with their Infernal Bolters on 6s. No 1s to reroll, so we have 1 here. 5 to wound. Nothing.
Needs a 9-inch charge, but he has Adrenal Gland, so he gets +1 to this. I'd really like to get in there. And I do. I do.
Oh, no!
We're going to go straight in so I can leave some room for my warriors to try. This Trigon Prime is going to screech, and you're going to feel this psychic pulse come out. I'm going to spend a command point on Hive Instinct. I choose an enemy unit within an inch of a Synapse creature in the charge phase, and that doesn't have to be the beginning, any point in the charge phase, and any other unit that charges that unit gets to roll 3 dice and take the best 2. The Hormagaunts will declare a charge against the Rubric Marines. They need 9 inches, get to take the best 2. No pluses, no special rerolls except for command points. You okay there, Vito?
Yeah, go ahead,
Behind the
Matthew.
camera, Vito's not looking too good. Oh, we got a 10!
Why, Matthew? Why?
Oh, boy.
Just keep swimming.
And I'm going to leave a spot open for those Raveners, because Hormagaunts can pile in 6 inches. So, yeah. And now the Raveners will attempt a charge. They'll have the same benefit. Need a 9. There's a 10. Oh, no. Oh, no. Caca. Say the Raveners, because they're birds. They're not really rolling. Over to here, we have these Tyranid warriors. Now, I have another stratagem called Hunter's Drive. It's 1 command point that I'm going to use. And what I do is I select a unit, and if they declare a charge against an enemy unit where a Synapse creature has killed at least one of them in the shooting phase, and they actually killed one of them in the shooting phase, then I once again get to roll 3 dice and take the best 2. And they have Adrenal Glands, so they get +1 to this. So I just need to roll an 8 with the best 2. Oh, that's a 12-inch charge. Oh, boy. They're in. We're going in deep.
Not like this. Not like this.
The Prime will declare a charge into them. He's got Adrenal Glands for +1, but he'll need 10 inches. Yeah, whatever.
It's about time you felt something around here.
And I believe lastly will be this Lictor declaring a charge into the Rubric Marines. Needs a 9-inch charge, but he can re-roll because he just showed up. Oh, doesn't need to. That almost went as perfectly as I could have requested. The only thing that didn't work was the Lictor charging from the back, so I did lose a couple on my Trigon Prime. Oh, I wondered. Wow. Into the fight phase, I'm going to start with my Trigon Prime, who will just pile in slightly, give it a little more room for some Hormagaunts.
I'm going to go ahead and spend 1 command point for Indomitable Foes on this unit here of Rubric Marines, which is increase their invul save by 1 to a 4-up. I'm doing it mostly here for the Prime.
7 attacks with his massive scything talons, hitting on 3s, re-rolling 1s. Ugh, look at those 2 2s. Those are ugly. 3. Only winning on 3s. He's strength 7. Oh, garbage.
4-up invul.
Hey! He's got a toxin spike tail that hits on 3s and wounds anything except vehicles on 2s.
3-up save. Animated.
He did nothing. Vito is not going to interrupt, so I'm going to do my Raveners next, who will pile in, and we'll just get a couple of them, well, plus the guys behind them. 20 Scything Talon attacks, hitting on 3s, re-rolling 1s. That's a pretty darn good roll, even with that. 4s to wound. Oh, not bad.
3-up saves. Oh, 4.
I want to point out that 2 of those he rolled 2s on, so my Biometallic Cyst and -1 AP on the Scything Talons killed 2 of them. We'll do these Hormagaunts next. We'll just cram this. I don't think we're going to get very many in. 16 attacks, hitting on 4s, re-rolling 1s. Wounding on 5s, and there's 20 of them, so they re-roll 1s. Oh.
3-up saves. Oh, 2 more die.
Next up, we'll have the Trigon attack. I just realized I brought a Moloch model instead of a Trigon. I apologize for that. I normally like to play WYSIWYG, but just dawned on me now that this is the wrong model. But still going to act like a Trigon. He's got his massive Scything Talons hitting on 3s, re-rolling 1s. Garbage! 3s to wound at least. There we go.
5 up invulnerable. Ooh, 2 will
2.
die.
And his toxin tail. Nah, nothing. We'll have the lictor go next, just piling over here. We'll use his grasping talons because it's damage 2, so it'll ignore your all his dust. Hitting on 2s. 3s to wound. All right.
4 up.
Hey,
Ooh.
kills 1.
Take this guy.
We'll consolidate. And lastly, we have these warriors who will consolidate, or pile in back now, as much as they can. 9 attacks with their scything talons, hitting on 3s, rerolling 1s. Wounding on 4s.
3 up save. 1 will
One
die. And another one bites the dust. Hey, see what I did there? Time for the Thousand Suns to fight back. So we're just going to pick this squad here of Rubrics, and we're just going to go boop, like so. These 4 Rubrics are going to go into the Hormagons. And then everyone else into the Prime. 2 attacks apiece, +1 because of Hateful Assault, hitting on 3s, re-rolling the 1s because of Aruman. Looking for 3s to wound. Oh, okay, all but 1.
6 up, armor save. Yeah, baby. I'll lose 4 of them, so I'll lose my reroll 1s to wound.
Totally forgot I still had Prescience up, so I missed 3 more times, so I'm just going to go ahead and roll them. And then wounding on 3s. So Matthew, we have 3 more wounds in there.
6 up. Yep, 3 more. So 7 die in total.
And now 6 attacks attacking the Prime on 2s, re-rolling the 1s. 5s to wound. Ooh, 3.
3 up armor. Ooh, I take 1.
3 attacks with the staff, with the Aspiring Sorcerer, hitting on 2s, re-rolling the 1s. Thank you very much. 4s to wound, +2 strength, getting 2.
4 up armor save. Ooh, I take 1 of those.
The 3 damage. Ooh, for 2 damage.
It loses 3 wounds total, down to 7.
My last choice is going to be these Rubric Marines. We're going to put all of our attacks into the Warriors. 6 attacks on 3s. Falls to wound.
4 up save. Oh.
Right, Sorcerer, show them how it's done on 3s. Brewing 1s because of Araman. Ooh, very nice. 3s to wound. 3.
You actually only got 2 hits, but since you made all 3 of these, we can just say both those hits wounded. 5 up save. Made 1.
All right, take 1 out for D3. Oh, only 2 damage.
Down to 1.
That is going to be it for combat. Going into the morale phase, I'm going to be on a 3 up. I'm going to be losing some guys. Show me 1 or 2.
Ooh, 2 guys.
Good. Back into the winds with you. Whoops. Back here. Now, I lost 11 in this squad. I'm just going to go right away, spend 2 command points, make them auto-pass as they are holding the wave back, getting ready for my Terminators to come on down.
That was incredibly effective. I don't think I could have asked for it to go much better than that, because even your saves were a little below average for your 3+s. I've grabbed both objectives up here. I have more bodies than the Thousand Suns do, and both of them. And I still have the 2 objectives back in my line, which means I get 4 points total, bringing the score to 7-4 for Tyranids. Thousand Suns, turn 2.
Not looking too good. But I'm going to go ahead and fall back with these Rubric Marines. They have had enough for their full 5 inches.
Zinch has a plan.
I don't know if it's going to work,
We'll
but it's
see.
a plan. It's
We'll
a plan.
see.
It's a plan. Demon Prince, he's going to fly in this cute little pocket that they've made for him.
A very specifically measured pocket.
Very yes. Our mind's going to get a little crazy, and he's going to go right to here. And then coming in from Deep Strike, because I have nothing else to do, is my Scarab Occult Terminators. And boom, all 10 are now down.
Reinforcements have arrived.
Going to the Psychic phase, Araman is going to cast Prescience on the Scarab Occult. +1, -1, looking for a straight 7. And they didn't get it.
No bueno.
This is not looking good. He's going to try to cast a Smite next. Come on, buddy, come on.
Needs a 5.
Oh!
But you do perils.
Now, I can spend a command point to not perils.
You mean just you have a stratagem to not
Yeah,
perils, or to reroll?
it's part of the new book. It says if I get perils, I do not perils.
You got 1 command point left.
I don't want to waste. Oh, come on, Armand. Why you gotta treat me like that, my bruh? I'm gonna take it.
Meaning you're going to take the D3 mortal wounds.
I'll take the D3 mortal wounds.
D3 mortal wounds to you, and D6 to me. Vito, come back!
Freaking Armon.
Can he do more than 3 to me? No, just D6 to me.
Yeah.
Oh, he does less to me than he does to...
No, command point. I don't care anymore.
You don't care?
Ah! Ah!
Oh! Well, it brings you down to 1 wound. Ouch!
According to my research, I'm just taking 3 wounds.
He's down to 2.
I'm going to hold off on him. I want to see what happens next. This squad over here is going to cast Smite. Closest target, because I measured it, is going to be this dude, bro.
Dragon Prime.
Looking for that sweet, sweet 5.
You got it.
I got it.
It's 1 mortal wound, and that'll kill him. And that one's actually out of range. You know, I don't care. You're eventually going to kill him anyways. He's got death throws, though, Vito. On a 6, everything within 3 inches takes D3 mortal wounds.
You do this? Matthew, look how many models I have on the board. Don't you? No. Matthew, no.
I'm considering using a command point to reroll it.
Matthew.
If I wish I had a stratagem that let him automatically death throws.
Don't you dare.
You know what? Yeah, okay, I'll roll this.
No.
Okay, but, I do have a stratagem where a character can fight after it dies, but the problem is it's more than an inch from you, so I'd have to shoot my stupid weapon, and I don't think that taking out Aramon with that weapon is really worth it. So we're just going to remove this dragon. And we're going to replace this Moloch, because it's really bothering me that I put the wrong model there.
His last spell is going to be Doom Bolt, and it's going to be into the Ravagers? Yeah, Raveners. Looking for a 9, and I fail. Demon Prince, he's going to go ahead and cast Smite.
He needs a 6.
Ooh, a 10.
Okay. Against the Hormagaunts, D3 mortal wounds. You killed 3 of them. I hope you feel good about yourself.
He's going to do Warp Time on the Scarab Cult.
Remember, you get plus 6-inch range, because normally it's only 3-inch range.
Yeah, so we're looking for the 9. Do we get it? Ooh, get a 9.
I will try to stop it. I'll have to roll a natural 10 or higher. Oh!
Now, because I rolled a 9 for one of my powers, my Warlord trait is the Immaterial Echo. I can cast a 3rd spell for my Warlord trait. So I just realized that I could cast the Infernal Gateway, and that's to target the closest enemy model. They'll take D3 mortal wounds, and then every model, friend or foe, also suffers D3 mortal wounds.
Every unit.
Every unit.
Because model, that's ridiculous.
Right. So the closest model will probably be the Hormagaunts. They'll take D3 mortal wounds, and then they will suffer D3 mortal wounds. But guess what?
Armon. And probably the Rubric Marines, too.
No, so it would be from like the parent will suffer D3.
Yeah.
And then they will suffer D3, and then Aramon was
right, but everybody within 3 inches of the first one.
From the first model.
Right. So they'll be with probably 3 inches.
Oh, this is the worst. Why did I do this? I'm not going to do that, so I'm going to attempt to cast Time Flux on my rubrics.
This is Vito auditioning for the Joker. You okay?
I'm done. I may as well do a smite from the rubrics. Super smite for them.
Yay! It'll be on the Warriors. D3 mortal wounds.
For 2.
2, so it kills the 1, injures the next.
And he's just going to do a classic smite.
Stop it, man! You're gonna kill yourself!
What is happening? Oh, Siege, what are you doing to me?
Hey, you do D6 mortal wounds to me, though.
So D3 to myself.
Oh, I can't see that. What'd you get?
Got a 5.
You got 3, okay. But you do D3 to me, too, because you got 12 instead of 1. Eh! Oh.
What a trade.
Yeah. One of yours dies, and then 1 takes a wound. And one of my Raveners, I'll take the one out front, takes the wound.
All right, going into the shooting phase now. We're going to start with the Scarab Occult Terminators, Hellfire Missile Racks, and the Soul Reaper Cannon into the Ravagers. Raveners. Everything else is going into the Hormagaunts.
Except 1, which can't see anything, and he's going to fire over the zone throws.
Yeah. 2 Hellfire Missile Racks on 3s. Strength 8 versus Toughness
4. 2's to wound.
2's to wound.
Oh, goodness.
Soul Reaper on 3s. 2. 3s to wound. 2.
That's just -3 each, so it kills the Ravener.
4 shots into the zone thropes. Ooh, all of them. Very nice. 4s to wound.
Ooh, we could kill one. 3 up invulnerable saves. No, never mind.
And then the rest of the shots on 3s.
The Hormagaunts.
And 3s to wound.
No saves. That kills all but 2. I'm not even sure which 2. You know what? I'll keep these 2.
Armon's gonna go ahead and fire his pistol at the Hormagaunts. Ooh, 1 shot on a 2. Hits. 3s to wound.
Yep. That's another one.
The sorcerer has a pistol, so he'll fire into the warrior. Do we hit? We do. Do we wound? We do.
6 up save. Oh, you got him. 1 wound.
Going into the charge phase, the Demon Prince is going to declare the Raveners and the Hormagaunt.
Overwatch from the Raveners. Death Spitters hitting on 6s. 2 hits. Wounding on 5s. 1 wound.
4 up save. Charge distance. 5. Ooh, not.
Good thing you got wings. You can fly over your own guys. Or anybody.
And then Armon, he's going to get in there as well. He's going to charge the Raveners, and the Hormagaunt.
No Overwatch. Yeah, he's it.
The Terminators, they're going to declare a charge against the Licta.
Need 9. Nope.
I think I'm going to go with Ahriman first because he does 3 damage as opposed to the Demon Prince who only does 2 damage. Now Ahriman does have 5 attacks as opposed to the Demon Prince's 7 attacks plus 1 for 8, but I'm going to go with Ahriman because he just does more damage. So 5 attacks hitting on 2s, oh, that's pretty good, and looking for 3s to wound.
3 of them. 6 up saves or they die. 3 die. I actually have to pull from the front because the one in the back is in 12-inch range of Synapse. The ones in the front are not. This might keep your Demon Prince away. I don't know. Ah, Hormagaunts. Stay there. Demon Prince will be able to get in there. It's going to be a little clumsy, so we're just going to plop him as far forward as you need to because we know he can make it.
Yes, yeah, so right there. 8 attacks hitting on 2s, re-rolling the 1s, and looking for 3s to wound.
You got him. But you didn't get the Hormagaunt. Oh no. Just want to point out the Hormagaunt is outside of 12 inches of Synapse, so even though he's objective secured, meaning that he'll hold the objective regardless of being outnumbered, he's going to run. Chargers are done, so we get to do your Rubric Marines next.
So we're just going to go continuing into the Warriors, 1 attack into the... Oh, looking for 3, we hit. 4s to wound.
The 4 up save. Not saved, kills the 1.
2 attacks with the Aspiring Sorcerer on 3s.
Only 1.
3s to wound.
5 up. Oh, I saved it. Now I get to fight back. Hormagaunt into Ahriman, hitting on 4s, rerolling 1s. 1 hit, wounds on a 5. Does not wound. Trigon, not Trigon Prime, into the Rubric Marines. 3s, rerolling 1s. Come on, give me 1 more, give me 1 more. There we go. 3s to wound. That's 4.
5 up.
They're dead.
Goodbye, my lovers.
And I will consolidate that way. Hormagaunt will run. End of your turn, you reclaimed objective number 6, scoring you 1 victory point. But at the end of the battle round, I have more objectives than you, scoring me an extra victory point, bringing the score to 8-5. First things first, objective number 3 is going to disappear in battle round 3. Metamorphic Regrowth, I get to heal 1 wound on each unit, but you have perfectly killed everything, so I have nothing to heal. The swarms are closing in, the zone thropes will advance 2, bringing them nice and close to your Demon Prince. You can feel the shadow of the warp just pressing on your brain. Neurothrope will advance forward 8, he'll just pop out. You know what, he'll come out front so you can shoot him if you want. Lictors on this flank are going to move in, they move 9. They're fast little fellas. You know, I'm going to grab some. No, I gotta move right here. And this Lictor is going to pounce forward, and his friends are going to help him. I'm going to leave this warrior back on the objective. Prime will move up as well. The gargoyles are to stay back on their objectives. Psychic Phase, zone thropes are going to smite your Demon Prince. 8-5, re-rolling 1s. Ooh, we got a 9.
All right, Ahriman, now's your time. Stop it.
He does! Woo! Well, Oh, now they will Psychic Scream onto him, and they get him 7.
Do it again, bro! Up!
Smite from the Neurothrope. Needs a 6. They got it.
All right, one more for the homies. Oh,
He
no!
tried. D3 mortal wounds to your Demon Prince. He takes 2.
Down to 3.
And we'll attempt to cast Catalyst, and he gets it.
Demon Prince will try to stop that.
It's a 7.
No.
Oh, look at you! Shooting phase. We'll do both elixirs at the same time into your Rubric Marines. Flesh hooks hit on 4s. Wound on 3s.
All is dust. 2 up. Nice.
Dragon next. 4s to hit. 3s to wound.
2 up.
He kills 1.
By John.
The Devours from the Warrior and the Prime. They're all going to be hit on 3s. 3s.
-1, 3 up save. Ooh, nice.
Those only 2. Trigon will declare a charge into your Rubric Marines and into Ahriman and into your Demon Prince.
Ooh. We got the Overwatch to do. 2 Soul Reaper cannons on 6s. Los 1 to reroll. Nope. 5 to wound. Oh, we got 1.
4 up save. Ignored.
6s for everything else. Just 1. 5 to wound. Nothing. Ahriman with his pistol. Nothing.
Charging, I get a +1 to this, so 5 inches. I'm going to come over to here. Lictor charge. He made it, 11 inches. Lictor will declare a charge. Just these guys. He made it. The Warrior will decide to charge. Needs 10 inches. Yeah, whatever.
I'll heroically intervene with Ahriman. May as well because you're going to get to me anyway. So, boop, here we go.
In the fight phase, my Trigon Prime will go first, and he will target everything onto Ahriman. I'm going to spend a command point on Voracious Appetite, so the Trigon Prime will reroll all failed wound rolls. His big old Siding Talons will hit on 3s. Oh,
Thank goodness.
3s to wound, re-rolling. Come on. Good.
All right, Ahriman, you have a 4 up invulnerable save. Don't fail this.
No command points to help you. Oh, 1 gets through. D6 damage, you've got 2 wounds left.
Come on.
Oh,
no!
I would have one-shotted him. If it makes you feel any better, that means that his perils didn't matter. You can't interrupt, so I got my 2 lictors. I'll just do them both at the same time. 6 attacks between the 2 of them with their Grasping Talons. 2s to hit. Oh, golly. 3s to wound. 2 wounds.
4 up saves. Oh, 1 will die. Boop. My time to attack back. These Rubric Marines, all of them are going to go into this lictor, except for the Aspiring Sorcerer, who's going to put his staff into this one. This guy, unfortunately, actually has to attack this guy, so it's going to be 4, and then these 2 into him. 2 attacks apiece. We're going to be hitting on 4s because of your chameleonic skin.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. 4s.
You roll 1s.
Oh, that's actually not too bad. Rerolling once because of the Demon Prince. Oh. 4s to wound as you punch in your face.
Oh.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
5 up. Oh.
Sorcerer on 4s. 3s to wound.
6 up. Give me a vest. No.
A D3 for 1. And the other guy on 4s. 4s to wound. Nothing.
Brings my lictor down to 3. For 3 command points. Single-minded annihilation. Lets me at the end of the fight phase choose a unit to fight again. Sorry, it's actually called Adrenaline Surge. So here's the fun shtick I'm going to do. I've already done all the measuring. I'm close enough to do this. This is the nearest model, so I have to end near to it. Oh, I'm not close enough to it. Oh, I was going to go for the Demon Prince. No, whatever. We'll just stay right here and kill your Marines. We'll just kill your Rubric Marines. 3s to hit, re-rolling 1s. He still has his Voracious Appetite, so 3s to wound, re-rolling. Oh, that matters a little bit, maybe. Yay.
5 up pinball. Why are your dice so cold?
Nice, cool.
4.
4 just murdered by that, and then I have my Toxin Spike. 3s to hit, 2s to wound.
3 up.
No. No. Ah. Morale, you lost 7 of your Rubric Marines. He's leadership 8, so if you roll a 1, he stays.
Nope.
I have grabbed 3 objectives. Did not take number 6. That brings the score to 11 to 5. Did lots of damage, but not as much as I thought. If I killed that Demon Prince, it's game over. With the Demon Prince still alive, especially because it has the relic that says it comes back when it dies, the first time it dies, then Vito still has a bit of a chance. It's going to be a hard-fought victory, but it's not impossible.
All right, so we're starting with movement. The Demon Prince is going to go ahead and fly 12. We pre-measured, boop, right over here. Scarab Cult, being the slow boys that they are, just going to move their 4 inches closer. We're going to cast Time Flux into this squad over here, trying to make some monsters grow. Looking for a 6. Oh, we get with an 8. Well, 7 because of the -1.
Right. I'll try to deny. Need to roll a natural 8 or higher, which I do. No Terminators for you!
Demon Prince is going to cast Smite. We're going to put it actually into your Warlord.
They're actually both equidistant, so he was able to choose.
Looking for a 5.
You get an 8. But I'll try to stop it. No!
Stop. Stop.
I did. I stopped it.
Last spell, he's going to go ahead and cast Warp Time on himself.
No.
Not with that. Shooting, they're going to fire everything that they've got into the Prime.
Well, it's just a Trigon, actually.
Oh, okay.
It does have Synapse because of the upgrade, but
Fair
same
enough.
strength as the Prime, though.
Gotcha. 2 Hellfire Missile Racks on 3s. 3s to wound.
5 up save.
Oh, Reaper Cannon on 3s. 5 to wound.
This is -3.
Yeah.
6 up. 1 wound.
32 shots. 32 shots on 3s. 5 to wound.
5 up save. I make 3 of them. Brings them down to 8.
We're going to go ahead and charge Demon Prince into your Warlord and this Warrior.
Overwatch. Death Spitter's hitting on 6s. 1 hit. Wounding on a 5. That's a wound. -1.
4 up.
Takes it.
Down to 2.
Yeah.
His charge.
Yeah. Come on in.
The water's fine. Scarab Cult, they're going to charge both the Lictor and the
Trigon.
Trigon.
Overwatch with the Trigon. 6s with his bioelectric stuff. Nothing. Charging! 7. That'll be it. Oh, here they come. Well, the shooting didn't do it, but I'm sure this will. How does the Demon Prince want to divvy up its attacks?
That is a fantastic question. 5 attacks into the Prime on 2s.
Reroll the 1.
Whoa. 3s to wound.
Uh-oh. You need 2 of these to get through to kill the Prime, and I get a 5 up save against it. I have no command points to help me reroll, so this is just dice. Oh, triple 6! Triple 6! How come every one of our battle reports ends with you walking away?
Because of your dice, Matthew!
Well, time for a bit of a post-game discussion. That was closer than I thought it was going to be. That first round, when you just shot a bunch of my guys off, I'm like, well, this is going to be tough. And then when all of my guys came from reserve, and pretty much every single one got into combat, I thought, oh, now he's dead. But then they didn't punch through quite as fast as I thought they would. You were way more resilient than I had thought. I'm like, oh yeah, surely this will do it. But you held, barely. So I thought, maybe he has a chance. And then you brought in your Terminators and you wiped out the middle. I'm like, oh, he has more of a chance. And then I came up and I just destroyed things. I'm like, no, he's out of this. And then you moved up and I'm like, oh, we did the math. I'm like, he has a chance. And then you moved up and did nothing. I'm like, okay, he's done. And that's when you're like, done. I can't do it anymore. So it's interesting. What do you think went wrong? Like, if you could go back, and redo things, whether it's your list. I'm not talking about like a totally different list, like maybe minor tweaks to the list, or tactics, or choosing who went first because you got to choose that. Mm-hmm. What would you do differently?
For list, I wanted to experiment with having a very narrative kind of list where, you know, Armand's coming in with his big block of 20 Rubrics. I like his bodyguard. Maybe, because you and I were talking about it, if maybe I should have split up the big block of 10 into 2 blocks of 5. Maybe that could have had a little bit more variety in where I came down, especially if I had gone first, because then I would have had maybe a little bit more board control. And having you go second, maybe I'm thinking in hindsight, I should have gone first. Because then if my Terminators came down, you had concentrated all of your Chargers into my big block of 20. Whereas if I had gone first, I brought down my Terminators, maybe eliminate another unit, or engage maybe your Zoanthropes, then you have more decisions to make. And then maybe I have a unit and could fire into something.
It's interesting because I don't think it's quite so obvious that if you went first that would have changed everything. It would have changed the entire game, yes, but I don't know if that's the big tipping point. Because when I think about what could have happened, if you did choose to go first, I had placed my guys in such a way that you'd basically get no shooting against them first turn. So you'd be giving up a round of shooting to get that table control. The table control is huge though, so I think that is really the talking point, like what you were saying. Because when I came in, the lictors especially give me a very big degree of table control. Because what I can do, and what I did, is I would look around and be like, oh, the Terminators can come in here. So if I just drop a lictor here, that creates a 9-inch bubble around them where you cannot come in. And because it's a unit of 10, like you said, that's a big footprint.
Yeah.
And so I moved the gargoyles to cover it, gargoyles to cover it, lictor here, lictor here, lictor here, lictor here, and all of a sudden you were stuck coming in way at the back, far away from objectives, far away from everything that was going to be fighting. And I think that's the big talking point here, is that if they came in first turn, they could have come smack into the middle. Like if that's all you did, just put them in the middle. Then even if I did focus them down and kill them turn 2 with all of my reserves, that still left your Rubric Marines behind to double shoot with their targets, be in rapid fire range, and wipe things out. Because you had enough objectives close to you that you could move up and hold those and keep the points close enough. Even if I got an early lead, you showed that you had the superior firepower. You were removing things like crazy.
Yeah, I think if I was able to fire twice with one unit, I could have had more board control with one unit, whereas you were having more board control with just outmaneuvering me.
Yeah, little units.
Yeah, because I think I had more firepower, but you had more maneuverability.
Oh, by far you had more firepower. Even in close combat, I wasn't killing you as quickly as I thought I would. The only thing that I had on the table, like if you could look at a single unit on my side that by itself could do tons of damage, it was the unit of 6 zone throats.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
I know I got lucky and did the 9 mortal wounds thing, but just on average, doing 4 to 6 mortal wounds every single turn against an army that is as tough as yours, with those invulns and with the all is dust giving the +1 save, that was kind of the key to punching through. Basically, wherever I put them, the idea was they would move up and just carve. And they did that, and you managed to stop them eventually, and they weren't, you kept denying, but just that one turn of 9 mortal wounds removing a unit, that put you, that's really cascaded from that point, and then coming all in. So yeah, going first, big deal. Splitting your Terminators into 2, maybe that could help. It makes it a little harder for things like prescience, where you want to cast on a unit and give them a +1 to hit. You want a big unit for that, right? Or if you stand still, you can shoot twice with rapid fire weapons. On the Terminators, that would be huge, 8 shots each rather than 4 shots each on those combi bolters. That would be sick, absolutely sick. Do you regret not just starting them on the table? Would that be an option?
I think so, because then I'd have more firepower, and then they're so slow.
That's the problem.
And with a movement of only 4 inches, that hurts them quite a bit. I just don't know where I would really put them.
Just have them do that slow advance up the middle of the table, maybe warp time a little here and there.
Yeah, it's always one of those things where if I start them and then, like if I put them maybe in a position and then you just kind of refuse flank.
Yeah.
That's what I was really afraid of. Is okay, they start on the board and then Matthew just kind of puts them, all right, now here is, I don't even know how many points, they're like 300 and change, and they're just useless.
Can't really, only 24-inch range on most of their weapons. Yeah, that's just it, because my army was very reactionary. Half my army, literally, points and number of units were not on the table.
No.
The rest of them were fast enough that I could kind of hold them back. The gargoyles were total objective grabbers, or resilient enough like the zone throats. You saw what happened the moment I moved my Tyranid warriors into range. They were useless.
Yeah.
They just gunned down, no problem.
I love that you actually mentioned that, having them start on the board, because I'm like, you know what? This big squad of 10, this might be my Death Star. Because I with the Cult of Time, I can bring them back to life, per guy, especially if I get a 9, I can bring D3 Terminators back. So maybe I'll just start them, and then I'm like, Matthew's just going to refuse flank me. And here's this big Death Star that can do nothing all game.
Or very little. That's a lot of table control.
Yeah.
You march them up the middle, there's a lot of objectives in range that if I'm staying away from them, then you're refusing those objectives too. So it's not total refuse. That's not easy for me to do.
Yeah.
And it also is interesting which objectives disappeared too. The ones in the middle stayed for most of the game.
And that's something I should have kept in the back of my mind too, is just, it's always the having something in reserve is you always have that in the back of your mind. It's like, oh, these guys can go into reserve. I'm just going to put them in reserve.
It's a solid choice. Table control, right? Being able to come in on the other side of the table is a key element. It's possible that maybe a slight shift of removing some of your models and replacing them with rhinos, just to give you some sort of mobility. Not sure.
Yeah.
It's hard to say because we could totally retool your Thousand Suns army. It's not like it was optimized for anything, or my Tyranid army was super optimized for anything. They're both just fun lists. But yeah, just looking at little things like that. How do you get the mobility without losing the hitting power? The blob of 20 Rubric Marines is terrifying. It took me the entire game to kill it.
I love taking that big blob. I know some people might not say, it's the best, but there's just something about it. It harkens back to 30K, and it's so dense, and sometimes it's hard to chew through that many.
Maybe that's the problem. Maybe it's because you had 2 Death Stars.
Yeah,
Is that you're
too
like,
many points.
You're like, I have tons of points into this squad of 10 and tons of points in this squad of 20, and I need them to be important. And so then what protects them? 2 squads of 10? We saw how fast those fell.
Yeah.
So maybe that's the issue. Maybe it's just bring 5 Terminators, use the rest of those points for something else.
Yeah, but I think it fails into the list building. I really wanted this to feel like a super, super elite. Here's Ahriman with his most elite troops.
Yeah.
And I think that failed into list building. Narrative-wise, I think it was cool, but list building, I don't think I'd ever take this list again.
Well, when we did the projections throughout the rounds, the game, as much as I was ahead in a lot of points, you were going to start catching up. And the problem was you just wouldn't have enough turns to do all the catching up.
If things were going well, and we saw with my psychic phase,
and then the Demon was not killing those 2 guys, right?
Yeah.
Things are just 666 for my saves.
I don't know what's been going on recently. My dice have been so either hot or just so cold. I need to get Dave more playing against him because my dice hate Dave.
They just work really well.
They just work really well against Dave. So I don't know what's going on recently.
Well, that's all we got for now. Don't forget to check out more of our battle reports in the MiniWarGaming Vault. Thanks so much for watching. Stay tuned for more, and happy wargaming.